Welcome back to Doom Eternal. We're still on the hunt to find Samuel Hayden, who is really important now, I guess, or something.
Well, I mean, he wasn't not important.
Yeah, but he's way more important now.
Oh, you'll see. They do some weird shit with him.
Yeah.
Is he still a robot?
Yeah, he's still a robot.
Okay. Because he, like, transferred his brain into a robot, is the lore, right? Okay.
Well, it's more complicated than that.
Yeah,
with
this game makes it a bit more complicated than that. But yeah, TLDR, he put his brain in a robot.
Man, I wish I could put my brain in a robot.
I think, like, the idea of putting your brain in a robot sounds like good on paper because, like, you don't have to worry about your body aging anymore, right? Except your brain is still organic matter, so it's going to age. So, and it's probably going to age even faster.
Sort of. The brain is comprised of mostly nerves and neurons.
Yeah, which, I mean, those do wear out, and they don't regenerate nearly as fast as other body materials. But from what I remember of my high school biology classes, it wasn't so much often that the brain wearing out is what causes natural death by old age. It's more like the heart and the lungs,
failing.
Usually. Yeah. But I would imagine that if you were to keep a brain in a jar or a robot or whatever, eventually it would give way, unless if you had sci-fi tech that kept it running well.
I put my brain in Kool-Aid.
I believe the current hypothesis is, all things considered, if the body wouldn't give out, your brain could reasonably live to about 200 to 250.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good.
Better.
That's accommodating for, like, the things that fail with age, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you might still live around the same time as a reasoning thinking human being, but eventually your brain's not going to work quite as well.
Yeah, I would imagine those last 50 years you'd be a little senile.
A little, just a little bit.
I mean, I'm just thinking.
Well, the human brain is weird. Some people don't suffer any cognitive decline even when they're like 100 or something.
But you need to be able to create a robot body that provides for the brain's needs in the same way that a human body does, or more
you would still need to eat, quote unquote, in order to keep the brain, because the brain uses the majority of the energy in your body, or if not a majority, a huge chunk of it.
I just thought of this scene from Futurama where they pour fish food in Nixon's
One of the
water
theories that I'm familiar with as far as human evolution is concerned is that part of the reason that our brains developed as far as they did was because we started cooking food and were therefore able to sort of shortchange our own digestive systems during the evolution process. So our digestive system shrank, and we were able to devote some of that to brain power. So
that's pretty neat. I'm just thinking about if I had a robot body, I would not have to ever exercise again, and I would still have my hot, rock-hard, metal-hard robot abs.
Oh, no.
Which would be pretty sick.
I am literally chiseled.
First-person Prince of Persia platforming. Actually, this reminds me of something that I'm really, in retrospect, because I didn't know about it at the time, really, really sorry we didn't get, and that's Prey 2. The original Prey 2.
Okay.
Which was going to be this, like, open world-ish sandbox bounty hunting first-person shooter game with lots of mobility and climbing around and negotiating the environment while chasing down marks. It would have been one of the most ambitious goddamn video game design projects of its time, but due to publisher shenanigans, it never happened.
When was this supposed to come out?
When was
it's like 2010,
I don't remember.
2012.
Hayden, Hyperbit Hero, he did a video on it quite a long time ago. That's how I first heard about it. And, dear lord, it was really impressive looking shit. Especially considering that the first Prey was just kind of a run-of-the-mill first-person shooter with some mystical elements.
The first Prey had a lot of weird legal problems holding it back. Like, the rights to the series kind of bounced all over the place for a while until finally getting... I have no idea who
until
published
finally ending up where it is now. where they're
Yeah.
just using the name Prey to do a frickin' System Shock spiritual
Yeah,
successor.
the new Prey has like nothing in common with the original,
It
to my
has
knowledge.
absolutely no connection as far as I know. It's just the Prey name applied to a System Shock clone. And to be fair, I've heard it's a good System Shock clone. But
Oh yeah, I've heard some good things about it.
but it's got nothing to do with Prey, and it's got nothing to do with the original idea for Prey 2, which was one of the if the same concept were pitched today, the same game concept that they were going for with Prey 2, I think it would still come off as like really revolutionary.
No, it definitely
Probably.
seems something more doable in today's age. I'm just shocked at, looking at all the platforming in this game, that this game looks like it has more interesting platforming than all of Mirror's Edge, which is a game about first-person platforming. So...
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that. Mirror's Edge was more about acrobatics and parkour. You were supposed to get the feeling that, first person or not, you were supposed to get the feeling that you were acrobatically running across rooftops and doing all this crazy shit to get around. Didn't
Was
quite
the
work
sequel
100%
any good?
well, but
Not really.
Oh, that's a shame.
That's a shame.
the sequel, I haven't played much of it.
It's
but
like a hub worldy, and you have like different things you can upgrade, and it's just like, it has a lot of. This obviously had a lot of executive meddling just to get out.
Yeah, because I remember that,
Thanks.
it was... The first game did have a cult audience.
From
and
from
people
what
wanted a sequel.
from what I can tell, they didn't do much to really expand on the ideas that made the first Mirror's Edge interesting, which is what they
Yeah,
really
they didn't.
had to do if they wanted Mirror's Edge to take off. But instead, there's a lot of cookie cutter concepts just sort of stapled onto the original Mirror's Edge concept.
Yeah,
So,
basically.
not that interesting. I mean, it's something if you want more Mirror's Edge, but it kind of feels like the Knight's Journey of Dreams of the series in a way.
That's not a bad comparison, honestly.
Speaking of, Balan Wonderland looks really cool, and I hope that game is good.
I haven't heard of that one. What's it like?
Okay, so Yuji Naka and Naoto Oshima are making Not Knights for Square Enix.
Oh, that.
Oh, that game.
I remember that, but I just didn't remember the title.
Yeah, it's like, so you play as the kid for the entire time, and the Not Night Sky with the hat is more like mystical and probably, I don't know, I think he's probably going to be evil, but that's just my my guess. We'll see when the game comes out. But like, the gameplay looks really interesting. My only concern is that it might be a little bit too slow for my tastes, because the level design from what we saw looked more like Mario point A to point B than like exploration-y based, which is fine. It looked like you ran really slowly.
Yeah.
So,
Makes it
I'm
sound-
hoping it turns out good because
Wait,
the creative is really interesting.
It's a
so-
platformer?
Yeah, it's a 3D platformer.
Huh. Makes it kind
And you like in every level you get like a certain number of costumes to let you do certain things.
That
Yeah.
sounds like 40 Winks.
Huh?
That sounds like 40 Winks.
No idea.
I don't know what that is.
You've never seen 40 Winks. Oh, god damn it.
Nope.
Okay, it was a PlayStation game. It was also supposed to be an N64 game. The N64 version got published on a cartridge via Kickstarter fairly recently.
Wait,
But
what?
basically,
Huh.
you played as either a boy or a girl. You could pick whichever one. Same difference, really, just cosmetic. And you basically played through platforming levels in your dreams. And you had, these costume boxes that you could access to get certain timed superpowers, like a ninja form or a jester or fairy form, or what else was there? I forget what else. There was like at least 4 different costumes that you could do. And they basically changed you into different forms with different attacks and platforming capabilities, I think.
Was it a good game?
I remember playing it on PS1 back in the day, and I enjoyed it. And the Nitro Rad video I watched on it seemed to concur with that opinion. So yeah, I'm gonna say it was pretty good.
Okay. It's just interesting seeing Yuji Naka make Not Knights in, like, visual
With Nazi.
design, but also, like, a completely different weird game in terms of the gameplay for Square Enix.
It's also with Naoto Oshima, so it's basically like Square Enix just hired old Sonic team.
It's just honestly, actually, the way it looks like Billy Hatcher, but not bad. In a lot of ways.
Honestly, yeah.
The more you say this, the more it just sounds like 40 Winks to me.
Yeah.
Or Rough and Tumble for our European audiences. Yeah, I don't know why the game has different titles by region, but it's 40 Winks in America and it's Rough and Tumble in
Europe is weird about how they name stuff.
Well, I think.
What about
Yoshi's
Yoshi?
Universal Gravitation?
Gravitation.
Anybody?
I think
God.
it might have originally been Rough and Tumble, but for some reason they couldn't use that in America. But I'm not sure.
Hold on, I need to 40 Winks PS1. Hold on, I need to. Oh
like
my God,
like how Star Fox is called Lilat Wars in Europe for some reason.
Oh yeah, it's 40 Winks Conquer Your Dreams featuring Rough and Tumble, who are probably the name of the kids.
Yeah, that's the name of the kids. The interesting thing about 40 Winks, though, is that because of like a late cancellation of the N64 version, it got a lot of coverage in Nintendo Power, I think. As a result,
also two enemies went behind the barrier. I can't kill them.
I'll just wait for them to finish each other off. But as a result, though, it's like the only PlayStation game to have a praising quote on its cover from a Nintendo magazine, and the quote was "Move over, Mario."
Oh.
So it was a PlayStation game with that quote on its PlayStation title from a Nintendo magazine. So noteworthy for that.
Hey, run away!
Come on!
I think it's running to jump off a cliff so that it can get to you. It's pathfinding.
So, thankfully, this has been patched. They have made it so that you can shoot through this barrier now. But yeah.
Oh, so this was a pre-patch recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one way to get him out of the way. Just wait for him to clip through the barrier and chuck a grenade at him.
I mean, it worked.
It's a lot faster.
Yeah,
That's
a common spot that can soft lock some people.
That seems like something they really should have caught and fixed in playtesting, though.
Yeah,
they might have caught it and just didn't have time to fix it. That happens a lot.
Right. Sometimes it does.
Yeah. I believe I think the term is like known shippable, where there's like there is a glitch or whatever, but it's like
usually that kind of stuff would be restricted to just like inconsequential graphics stuff, like the apartment door in Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they know that the graphics are glitched there, but they ship the game anyway because, no sense delaying it to fix one door.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of moving parts, I think, for big things like this, and delaying. I'm sure that delaying a game is a huge problem.
I mean, okay, you might think, well, why don't they just very quickly fix the bug? The problem with computer programming of any sort is that the moment you change something, something else goes wrong somewhere else.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
99 bugs left in the code to fix. 99 bugs left in the code. Patch went out. Compile it around. 128 bugs left to fix in the code.
So, like, yeah, you fix a bug, and for all you know, 5 more bugs have sprung up to take its place, and they might not necessarily be in the immediate area around the game, around that part of the game either. So then you have to do more QA to find more bugs to fix.
And this is just kind of what I've observed, and it's not. I might be off base here by a long shot, but I can't really think of too many games that got delayed just due to bug issues or whatever, where okay, we need another 2 months to smooth out the bugs. Like normally,
usually that happens just because they're game-breaking bugs.
Yeah, like most of the time, it's like design things that need to be the game needs to be overhauled because making content probably takes more time in general than just fixing bugs. Also because if you're making more content, there will be more bugs to then fix after the fact.
Well, they'll also fix bugs in the same patches that they add more content in, because there's no reason not to.
Yeah, but I feel people would rather have the game have all 10 levels and maybe a few more bugs that can be patched out, especially in this day and age, than get levels 9 and 10 in a patch later down the road. I'm actually struggling to think of games that literally are released unfinished and then get a full patch with
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5.
Oh, shit!
Okay, if you want to know how bad that game is, There is literally no reason to own the physical version of that game. Not that you would want it in any form, but the physical version disc is just the menus. You have to actually download the rest
Oh
of the
my
game.
I mean, I was
God.
about.
Oh
to,
my-
I was about to
are
say
you?
I was about to say the obvious example, which is Final Fantasy 15.
Wait, are you joking?
No, I'm not.
What the hell? How do you,
The game says you can play some stuff when you insert the disc, but you actually can't.
how do you get away with that garbage?
That's why Tony Hawk's the whole series gaming wise got so lambasted that their only option was to remake the first 2 games.
Jesus Christ! Wow. That's
What
okay.
generation was Tony Hawk 5?
That was gotta be PS3.
That was this generation. That was this generation. I
It was.
believe.
It was this generation. I'm surprised they.
I believe so.
I'm surprised they could get away with that this generation. That's like a
They didn't, is the thing.
That's like a drive-through situation, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the situation was so bad. Tony Hawk Pro Skate
No,
5 did so poorly.
I'm thinking of a different driver game, but I'm not remembering the title.
Yeah. That's okay. That's. Yeah. That's
There
pretty
was
garbage.
there was a driver's game that's pretty infamously well known for having been released unfinished, but I'm not sure which one it was. I have only really played the first game as far as that series goes. It was good. It was okay.
That's a racing game, right?
Ish.
Ish.
It was.
Driver tries to juggle many plates.
Yeah, it was a pre. It started as, I think, a pre-modern Grand Theft Auto series on the PlayStation 1 that was trying to do some ideas that are similar to what Grand Theft Auto would eventually popularize. But
So is it more like Need for Speed in that sort of sense?
the concept is basically that you're an undercover cop operating as this criminal's escape driver. So you have to undertake missions for that criminal and for the police, and it all culminates in a sort of crime drama way.
Okay. That sounds a lot like Need for Speed Underground from what I remember of it. That game was pretty fun, actually, from what I remember, because basically you could just dick around a whole lot in that kind of 2000 sandboxy sort of way. But as you did more shit, the police barricades and what got more and more ludicrously insane.
Yeah, I say similar to Grand Theft Auto, but mostly in the sense that, yeah, in the levels you were driving around a city that looks like it maybe could have been open world if they were able to pull that off at the time, but your missions were fairly limited. It was later games did try to bring in that Grand Theft Auto open world style, but that's when things went bad. But it was a well-known series at the time. You probably
No, I've heard of it. It's just it
Yeah,
seems like it's
go-
kind of fallen off. The
Good old
face.
Driv 3
Drift 3. Oh my god.
Everyone knows about it for that title, if nothing else.
When did that game come out? Hold on, I'm gonna
That
search
was a
it as.
PlayStation 2 game, I believe.
2004. Jesus Christ, that was a long time ago. Let's see. Hold on. It got a 7.5 from EGM. The hell? How the? It's like every other thing gave it like a D or a 5, which is like an F in game reviewer terms.
You know, it's really hard to look back at old reviews scores for games back in that era and, you know, take them at face value, because half the time the reason game reviewers were giving things low scores is because they were all like, oh, this isn't innovative enough. It's not doing enough to evolve itself.
Yeah.
Because we were in that weird gaming culture adolescent time where everything needed to be new and different. So a lot of genuinely good games whose only sin was doing the same thing they used to do well, just as well, or better, got scores they didn't really deserve.
Yeah. There's also the weird gaming score kind of thing where
yeah.
anything below a 7 is unplayable. And
I'm not really sure how recent the 3-point scale is, though. I'm not sure if that
no,
was
it
affected.
definitely was
It
at
dates
least
me.
the 2000s.
It dates back pretty far.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like many reviewers don't really use or at least video reviewers, I know, don't
Vid-
really
It-
use numbered
it's-
scores for that reason.
Yeah.
It started to lose popularity on the YouTube scene when more and more people could be their own reviewers.
Yeah,
So you didn't have to rely on quick clicks and just look at the score to get by.
Yeah, because Twilight Princess was 2007, and that's the infamous, like, 8.3 or whatever it was.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Regardless, we will get to him in the next part of Doom Eternal.
I love
Yay.
Powerpuff Girls.